Let me put this in words you might understand. Mr. President, off.
It's against our rules. As much as you might feel, or the room might feel in this, we have clear rules about cuss words, language that is inappropriate in this room. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but it is unacceptable.
Let me put this in words you might understand. Mr. President, off. Det var næsten sådan ordene lød, da jeg...
A year ago, that's what I said when I was here. I said very clearly that if Trump...
It's against our rules. As much as you might feel, or the room might feel in this, we have clear rules about cuss words, language that is inappropriate in this room. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but it is unacceptable, even if you might have strong political feelings about this.
Just hours ago, a moment inside the European Parliament stunned diplomats across the world. A Danish lawmaker openly told U.S. President Donald Trump to, quote, "F off." Not on social media, not off record, but on the floor of Europe's highest elected body. And at the center of this explosive moment, Greenland. Here's what's happening and why it matters far beyond a single insult. During a heated European Parliament session, Danish MEP Anders Vistisen, chief whip of the Patriots for Europe group, delivered an unusually blunt rebuke to President Trump. It came after Trump renewed his demand that the United States take control of Greenland, citing national security concerns. Trump has argued Greenland is critical because of its strategic Arctic location, rare earth minerals, and its potential for U.S. military bases. This isn't new. He first floated the idea of buying Greenland during his first term. Back then, it was brushed off as unrealistic. Now, it's back. And this time, it's sharper, louder, and backed by threats. Trump has warned that if Europe resists, the U.S. will impose tariffs, 10% starting February 1st and up to 25% by June, targeting Denmark, Germany, France, Sweden, the UK, and others. That pressure is what pushed Vistisen to snap. After his speech went viral, he doubled down on X, saying Greenland and Danish not for sale, and that allies deserve respect, not coercion. Trump hasn't stopped there. In a recent NBC interview, he criticized Europe for opposing his Greenland push and told leaders to focus on Ukraine instead. His words, Europe should worry about Russia, not Greenland. But for Europe, that's exactly the point. European leaders argue you can't defend Ukraine's sovereignty while threatening Denmark's. French President Emmanuel Macron and EU officials have warned this crosses a dangerous line, one that directly challenges NATO's unity. This is serious. A president of a NATO leader threatening economic warfare and refusing to rule out force against fellow allies. That strikes at the heart of Article 5, NATO's mutual defense promise. Some European leaders are already calling this a potential breaking point. If the tariffs hit, Europe is preparing a $100 billion retaliation package, risking a full-blown trade war. Resources meant for defense could be diverted, trust could fracture. And yes, Moscow is watching closely. A divided NATO benefits Russia, especially as the Ukraine war drags on. Russian media has openly celebrated the rift. But let's be clear, this won't give Russia forever dominance. Europe is boosting defense spending, cutting energy ties with Moscow, and preparing for a more independent future. The real question now is diplomacy. Is this Trump using pressure to extract concessions, or the start of a deeper transatlantic rupture? Because if this escalates, Greenland won't just be an island in the Arctic. It could become the fault line of a new global order.
Subscribe to One India and never miss an update. Download the One India app now.